one thing was for sure. They both believed Sparks to be a total tool.
Be an exciting contest which shows that divorced couples can still have fun together, right?
Mythological hero H-list. C. On the spot dice spin.
We are experiencing technical difficulties. Please stand by.
It seems like every decade there seems to be a new form of dating that takes place in the mainstream. In the 80s we saw the popularity of these cheesy dating services, whether you send a video or you call a chat line or something. In the 90s it was speed dating. In the 2000s we saw the big boom of internet dating sites like OkCupid, Match, or not Christian Mingle, the other dumb one, eHarmony. And currently a lot of dating is now taking place on apps such as Tinder, Kick, and of course Grindr. However, can you really consider that dating? Anyway, that's not what we're talking about here. But in the 60s, the big form of dating was computer dating services, where you'd fill out a questionnaire and send them $3, and they'll send you a list of people who you match up with, and you can call them up, and maybe love will spark. Who knows? And some people thought that'd be an interesting idea for a game show. So in 1967, we got the debut of a show that combined computerized dating with the dating game. And instead of something being interestingly bad, we got something that was stilted and boring. I don't know, I'm having trouble finding interestingly bad stuff now. We're now getting the boring stuff. So here's the perfect match. It was far from perfect.
I like a man who's thoughtful.
I like a girl who's vivacious.
I like a man who's consistent in his principles.
I like a girl who is happy.
I like a man who's intelligent.
I like a woman who is feisty.
These 6 young people have been matched by a computer. Are you able to tell who has been matched to whom?
The Perfect Match is a game show where 3 men and 3 women try to guess which one would be their perfect match, predetermined via questionnaire and decided by a computer. In order for them to figure out who the computer paired up, they were given various situations to give answers to. What it should have been was an interesting look at someone's decision-making when it comes to love. Instead, it felt stiff and forced at the same time. As for hosting, they got someone who would be in the running for most underrated game show host in the world. And it can only be the guy who said this in 2011.
So do you realize if we have yellow balls and green grass stains, what we'll have bloody blue balls at Wimbledon? That was the argument.
Okay, I'll leave that one alone.
Dick Enberg is the host for this show, the first of 4 he would do in his lifetime. For his first outing, he does a really good job of what he has to work with, which is not much. He's everything you'd want in a host for this type of show. He's there if equipped when it's needed, he's calm, he's collected when something awry happens with a question or something to that effect, and it's just a really solid job on his part. He alone is the best part of the entire show. And usually when that happens, that means the rest of the show is not up to snuff whatsoever. And boy, is it true here. For a relationship-style show, the hook is the juicy details or answers that we get from the contestants themselves. This show, however, doesn't really have that. Instead, it's all just stilted answers with mildly interesting scenarios. The first round has Enberg reading a scenario for all 3 men or women to answer. In some cases, you'd ask a follow-up to that scenario. Scenarios can be interesting, but the main problem with the show is that you're trying to get sparks from 6 complete strangers who are directionless. And that, in turn, is the show's biggest flaw. It's completely directionless, which is apparent when they go to a quickie yes or no style round where Enberg would pepper all 6 with statements that require yes or no answers. If the answer yes, they would stand up, or stay seated if the answer was no to the statements. Some of the combinations of the answers could be entertaining, but it doesn't add up to much at all. And after that, we get some cross-examination by the contestants. And this can be really awkward depending on the set of contestants. I'm not sure if it's the contestants' nerves seeing 3 people that got paired up with via a computer, or it's just the weird direction some of the questions can go to, but it just seems off to me. As a matter of fact, the entire show seems off. Especially since the rest of the show follows the same boring pattern. Enberg asks question, contestants answer verbally or draw out the answers and get more questions lobbed to him from the other contestants. And this lasts for the entire show before the contestants have to pick which one of the 3 contestants of the opposite sex would make for the perfect match. Now, note, this is not according to who they would think would be the most simpatico with them, like every other dating show out there. But it's the one who is perfectly matched for them by the computer. If a contestant matches with the computer, they get $50 cash. Whereas if a perfect match happens when 2 contestants match up with the computer's choice, they win a perfectly matched grand prize selected just for you. It's leading me to believe that the game was also misguided in its gameplay. I'd already had the contestants pick their dates based on their answers, but could also pick the computer's perfect match choice for a nice romantic date that the show would pay for. Kind of like what Love Connection did with the dating service videos in the audience back in the day. Instead, it just makes everything so feel cold and calculated at the end, much like the 20-ton computer the show put up on the pedestal. And that's the perfect match. Was it perfect? No. Was it a match whatsoever? No. It was just like the big, gigantic computers. It was cold, it was emotionless, and really flat, boring. Enberg was the lone highlight, knowing when to prod and when not to. But everything else was not that fun to sit through. There's only one episode of it on YouTube, and someone uploaded an internal close from later on in the show's run with a more livelier theme. But I doubt the actual gameplay in those episodes is something worth looking for anyways. This is a show that's best left forgotten in the dustbins, never to be seen again. And that'll do it. And you know what's next? The Games of 90s coming back. So which show of the 90s am I going to take a look at? Or should I say which show of 1990 am I going to take a look at? Well, you'll find out soon enough. Bye-bye!